Hey, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey and Spencer Hughes on the Daybreak Show, and via Zoom video conference, I've got John Tarrent and Don Pannell in this morning. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Nice to talk with you. I wish the circumstances could be a little better because we're going to talk about Pancakes in the Park, which was unfortunately canceled last week. We got the note from you guys in the Shelton Kiwanis. Talk to us a little bit about this. Had to have been a tough decision.
Really, from our perspective, I know we've had several things that we've had to cancel, but this is really a toughie because, as Don will probably tell you, it's been the key fundraiser for raising funds for our community. And the same thing, it's like an annual reunion for people who said, "Oh, it's the end of July. It's not going to rain. We're going to pancake breakfast." So it was really difficult.
Don, over the years, you and your family, I know, have been super involved in this, of course. And when you're looking at these types of events, like John just mentioned, an annual reunion, basically that means large gatherings of people of all age groups.
Right. It's kind of traditionally been that. I mean, whole families, we even have some high school classes that use it as a reunion. And so it made it really tough to cancel that. But as we said, when we were discussing it, if somebody came to that and got sick, we would feel just terrible.
Absolutely.
So in an abundance of caution, we kind of decided that the responsible thing to do would be to go ahead and cancel it. But we really wanted to take an opportunity to thank our community supporters and people who have come to the breakfast over the years and really enjoyed it, and just encourage them to use whatever monies that they might have put toward this event and use that to support other local, either go out to breakfast if the restaurants are open at that time, or do something to continue that sort of family atmosphere within the community at large.
The other thing about Pancakes in the Park, John, is that it's got a great legacy in kind of the reasonings it was founded. Tell the newcomers to the community, or those who may have forgotten, why Pancakes in the Park even got started.
You know, I think, well, it goes back to, as I say, 1950. And if you had a picture of the old park in front of you, it started out in what was called a Boy Scout log cabin down at the park. A lot of the materials, like the ham and stuff, it was cooked off site and brought in. But getting back to your question, it was really as a fundraiser to support. Well, Don's providing music.
Yeah, a little musical interlude here.
Fundraiser to support activities like supporting the Boy Scouts and all of the groups that we do. And it started out that way. And Kiwanis, of course, the theme is today is supporting one child, one community at a time. And that's basically been our charge all along. And the fact, like you say, anytime you do something more than 1 year, it becomes a tradition.
Yeah.
And it just kept building. There are people, and Don has a story about people who came to one of the, if not the first, one of the pancake breakfasts on their honeymoon. They were driving through town and saw it.
Right. That was actually one of Ron's relatives that came on their honeymoon, and they came every year since then. So it was kind of a neat story. Originally, the reason for the breakfast was to earn money to provide swimming lessons.
Right.
For local kids, because in the 50s, early 50s, there was a whole rash apparently of drownings in Mason County, and so the first group was to raise money to sponsor swimming lessons for the kids.
I've heard some great stories over the years of just unique ways the Kiwanis has tried to get people to come in and park and come and eat. Do you have any fun one or two memories, John and Don, that you can share?
Well, if you remember if you knew Dean Palmer was one of those people who was kind of an icon in the community for a lot of things. But Dean and partners, they always came up with a way to try and convince people. Case in point, stopping the Simpson Railroad train and feeding pancakes to the engineer and fireman brakeman on the train, literally parking in the middle of the road. I think another one was, and it was another Dean Palmer and a John Pill one, where they they managed to get, at that time, Greystone, get a concrete mixer to come down in front of the park, and they pretend to mix the pancake batter in a concrete mixer.
Right.
And I think there was another one where they had, I don't know whether it was a log barge or a barge coming in, where they were bringing in a load of pancakes on the barge. So.
Right. You're right. One of my favorite ones was they filmed, or they shot it up on our deck, and they had oh gosh, 5 or 6 Kiwanis members, male and female, sitting on a bench, and the picture was just of their legs, and so it was something about, I don't know what the connection between Pancakes was, but they had a contest to vote on the best legs, and Lloyd Van Blaricum won. So we always gave him a bad time about that.
That's some great memories. And folks who come now, of course, they see the big rotating pancake that's there and was custom built for the event from, it was Rainier, right? ITT Rainier.
Right. ITT Rainier,
engineers there.
1955.
Man,
yeah,
it's an impressive thing. It's just another tough part of all that's happening right now.
That's true. And I think, as Don said earlier, one of the things that's really important is we're not going away. Rotary's not going away. The programs aren't going away. We're just going to suck it up and prep, as you say, and get ready for bigger and better things, if you want to call it that, next year. But be on the positive side. I mean, yeah, it's tough. I mean, my friend Bob and I are the mix of pancake batter. I mean, there's the things that happen. You don't have that networking. But the key point is we will be back.
Yeah. A good opportunity, again, like Don mentioned, to go out and support the nonprofits,
Absolutely.
the restaurants in town, and just help out your fellow neighbors there. And then we look forward to, so it'll be the 70th next year, the 71st. What are we landing on here?
My thought is the 70th, but we'll have to discuss that. I mean, like I say, the advertising that's going out now is saying the 71st, but that's not technically correct. So, we'll have to discuss that.
No, it's a good time then to kind of check back over the history books.
You're
Absolutely.
right.
Yep.
Right.
Don Pannell and John Tarrent here talking about the tough decision to cancel Pancakes in the Park, but probably the prudent one because of all that's happening right now. Good to talk with you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and let's check in again down the summer.
And we'll look forward to seeing everybody at Neyland Park next year.
Yep. Bring your appetite, and we'll be ready, and the fixins will all be there. But hey, thanks for the opportunity to share a little bit, Jeff.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yep.